kids leave home and come to college, for most of them it's the first time they've ever been away from home where they're living on their own. And Hillel is a phenomenal place, a phenomenal influence on anybody that comes away from home, because we're their home away from home.
I've had the opportunity to meet students that I wouldn't have otherwise met. I've stepped out of my comfort zone to attend events and programs that I wouldn't have attended prior to being in Hillel.
I think it's so important to surround yourself with people who are of the same faith of you, who will bolster you and support you in your identity, but also challenge you to be a better person. I really found those people through Hillel, and I have created such important, amazing connections with fellow Jews at TAC.
I'm sitting at my desk, and they're two tall, lanky kids. So they showed up at my door, and they said, "We're looking for the Hillel." And I said, "So am I."
Hillel has let me meet so many Jewish students around campus and become friends with them, and I know that I'll be able to keep these Jewish friendships for long after college, which is so great.
It's amazing to see such a big group of people unite together that believe in the same thing, and I think that we are forever grateful to Hillel for that.
I was in Jewish fraternity at Georgia, and we would spend a lot of our times in a rivalry with the other not as good Jewish fraternity at Georgia. But it was nice to be at Hillel, and we would kind of forget about that and remember that we're all on the same team, all Jewish students at UGA, and all rooting for the Bulldogs together.
The more engaged I became with the staff and the other students, the more I just enjoyed participating. So now it's something I make a point to attend one Hillel thing at least every week.
By being involved in Hillel at UGA, I can find my community and connect with other Jewish individuals looking for the same Jewish connection.
Hillel is a place where students could come and let their hair down, so to speak. It serves an incredibly important purpose, not just at times of crisis. The best times to watch Hillel are the good times when Jewish life is flourishing, when students can gather together. To come in here and find students just hanging out is always a pleasure.
Hillel and the Jewish community on campus was a big part of the decision for me. So knowing that Hillel at UGA had so many members and so many people who love it, that really made the decision to come to UGA a lot easier for me.
All of the events that Hillel puts on, it's very welcoming to everyone, and I really appreciate that as a Jewish student, because it lets me feel like I can bring my friends here and not be like, oh, it's okay that you're not Jewish. Like, it's welcomed, and I think that really sets the groundwork for students to feel like they can work with others to help make changes like this on our campus.
And after college, Hillel will still have a huge impact on my life. From being more connected to Jewish values and Jewish traditions that Hillel has taught me throughout the course of my college experience, I will continue to carry those traditions on and connect with Hillels all across the world for the rest of my life. Thank you so much.
Try tell you you're lovely. You are lovely. Don't talk to yourself. I won't talk to myself. And I won't talk to myself like that. Please don't talk to yourself like that. Like that, like that, like that. I'm lovely.
Welcome to Hillel Heroes, everyone, and thanks to the Pussy Willows, to Hannah Zale, and Carly Gibson for that video created just for you. Tonight's show is being held in support of the Hillels of Georgia 2021 Annual Fund. Thank you to our generous donors, because your gifts make the work that Hillel does possible. If you have not yet made a contribution, you can do so by going to the Hillels of Georgia website. That's www.hillelsofgeorgia.org. Over the next hour, you will clearly see the impact your donation has on Jewish students across the state of Georgia. Let's hear from some of them right now.
You have actually made isolation 100% better. I cannot imagine being here without all of your support.
I want to genuinely thank you for everything Hillel has done for all of us so far. It means a lot to me and my friends, too, that you all care about us and are helping us get through the next few weeks.
JLF is something I look forward to every week. I was grateful to have the opportunity to study Jewish text and connect with other students virtually.
When the pandemic hit, Hillel responded with creativity and innovation to find ways to engage students beyond the typical face-to-face campus-based events. They met the challenge head-on. And now, to tell us more about that, please welcome the CEO of Hillels of Georgia, Elliot B. Karp, and the chair of Hillels of Georgia, Stacy Fisher.
Thank you, Greg. Good evening, friends. Elliot and I are pleased to join you this evening for Hillel Heroes, an evening devoted to the achievements of Hillels of Georgia and recognizing special people in our Hillel community who have made a difference for Jewish students and the Jewish community on campuses across the state. This evening, we are proud to recognize our friend and long-standing board member, Bruce Weinstein, with the prestigious Bernie and Billy Marcus Visionary Award for his passionate devotion, dedication, and leadership to Hillels of Georgia. Bruce is truly deserving of this special award and recognition, and we are very pleased and excited to honor him.
We also look forward to recognizing the contributions of our inaugural Hillel Heroes, Dr. Karen Berman, Dr. Deborah Lipstadt, and Dr. Josh Rothstein, along with Allison Fine, Kara Litwin, Sarah Martinoff, and Sierra Thomas, 4 UGA student leaders. We also wish to acknowledge 4 very important groups of individuals as Hillel Heroes. The hundreds of student leaders who devote themselves to dynamic, creative, and vibrant Jewish life on each of our campuses. Our tremendously hardworking and dedicated Hillel professional staff who provide guidance, counsel, and support to our wide-ranging Hillel program. Our committed board of directors for their vision and leadership in guiding Hillel and for their efforts ensuring the vitality of our organization. And finally, to our generous supporters whose philanthropic support and contributions ensure the financial well-being of Hillels of Georgia.
Hillels of Georgia's mission is to create vibrant Jewish life on every campus in Georgia, where every Jewish student proudly embraces their Jewish journey and identity, creating an enduring connection to Jewish life, the Jewish community, and Israel.
The COVID-19 pandemic tested our resolve this past year, and we are proud that our student, staff, and leadership pivoted to meet the challenges of achieving our mission. Together, we quickly came up with creative solutions and innovative programs that engaged students and strengthened our Jewish communities on campus. Programs and activities not only continued online, but expanded our ability to reach more students with Jewish learning, Israel programs, distinguished speakers, social action, wellness, and social gatherings. We provided thousands of kosher Shabbat meals in a box and hundreds of Seder and kosher Passover meals. And whenever possible, we also hosted COVID-safe outdoor gatherings, like our ever-popular bagel breaks, hikes, and other activities.
This past year saw innovation at Hillels of Georgia. We helped spark creative programming for our students with the introduction of the Hillel Hive, an online platform that encourages students to create their own Jewish experiences, like Shabbat meals and COVID-safe gatherings. We also collaborated with Jewish Family and Career Services to establish Hillel Helps, an online counseling service. And our Hillel student leaders led a Tikkun Olam racial justice initiative to engage their campus community in positive steps towards inclusion and racial justice. All of this and much, much more was made possible thanks to you, our Hillel heroes. On behalf of ourselves, our leadership, and our staff, thank you.
And most importantly, thank you on behalf of the thousands of Jewish students we serve all over the state of Georgia.
Toda Rabbah. Please sit back, relax, and enjoy Hillel Heroes 2021.
A hero is someone who, despite all odds, is triumphant in doing the right thing.
A hero is selfless and goes out of their way to make people feel safe and happy.
For me, a hero is someone that's humble about being a hero.
To me, I think a hero is someone who leaves a long-lasting impact on every single person they encounter and just creates a positive environment wherever they go.
A hero to me is someone that strives to make life better for others.
A hero to me is someone who is selfless and puts the good of the community before themselves.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's get to it. You are about to meet the Hillel Heroes of 2021. A hero comes in many forms, and tonight we will see heroes who have dedicated their time and energy to support Hillel and the wider Jewish community. They've done this with passion, dedication, and with perseverance. And Hillels of Georgia is proud to recognize the heroes in our community. Each of their stories is unique, and we're excited to share the accomplishments of our Hillel heroes with you this evening. And of course, be sure to watch our grand finale, the presentation of the prestigious Billy and Bernie Marcus Visionary Award. Our 2021 honoree is none other than the incredible Bruce Weinstein, a man who has always given back to others and has volunteered and sat on the board of many organizations, including Hillels of Georgia board for over 10 years. I can also attest to the fact that he is a fantastic Little League baseball coach. Help me get that bat off my shoulders. While you're enjoying the show, remember there's a comment section open for you to connect. Members of the Hillels of Georgia community will be there chatting throughout the event, including me. Jump in and say hi. And now, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to hear from the man himself.
Weinstein's Wisdom.
You know, I have to admit, I went to Hillel to start with to meet the girls and to get a bagel on Sundays. Then, you know, I actually started getting active there. Still went to meet the girls and get a bagel. But, you know, it was, I liked the mission. I liked the religious part of it. It was the first time in my life that I really felt being part of something Jewish, and therefore I think it's moved on with me to my later life and why I am active in Hillel.
Weinstein's Wisdom.
Our first Hillel hero is an alum of the University of Georgia who has first drawn Hillel for the community and the companionship. To introduce him, please welcome Georgia State Representative Mike Walensky, my former neighbor and former high school classmate, and the only Jewish member of the General Assembly of Georgia. Take it away, Mike.
Thank you, Greg, for the introduction. For those that don't know me, my name is Mike Walensky. I'm a serious injury wrongful death lawyer, and part-time, I'm a state representative for the great state of Georgia. I'm proud to have close ties to Hillel, especially since my dad, Bob Walensky, was chair of Hillels of Georgia Board of Directors. It is my honor to be here to present the Hillel Hero Award to Dr. Josh Rothstein, a fellow Bulldog and a true hero. I've personally known Josh since college and his wife Joanna for my whole life, so it is no surprise when I heard that Hillels of Georgia nominated Josh as a Hillel Hero. In a normal year, Josh is deeply devoted to his family, community, and his patients as an ER doctor at Northside. But as we all know, this past year was very different. Josh is a true hero as he served his community in one of the bravest ways possible, as an ER doctor on the front line during the COVID-19 pandemic. That is why I'm proud to present Josh Rothstein with the 2021 Hillel Heroes Award in honor of his dedication to the health and safety of not only our Jewish community, but the wider community as a whole. Thank you, Josh, for everything that you have done, and I know you will no doubt continue to be brave and strong for the benefit of so many. Thank you.
So I'm honored and humbled to be a part of this and to be mentioned with these other incredible people. When I was at UGA, Hillel was always a part of my life, whether that was showing up for Friday night services or getting matzo ball soup or seeing guest lectures. But really the thing that meant the most to me was Hillel's presence, whether they set up a table at Tate when I walked by or just driving by on Millage and seeing them on the way to Jittery Joe's. Their presence always meant a lot to me, just knowing that Hillel was there and I was a part of a large community while at UGA. This has been a tough year, and certainly it's been a tough year for healthcare workers, but it's been a tough year for everybody, and everybody has made sacrifices. I think this can be really reflected in people like my wife, who is working hard to raise our 2 children while also dealing with the stress that I bring home from work, and also dealing with the threat of me bringing COVID home from work. Early on in my medical training, I learned to take a weakness and turn it into a strength. I think that a lot of us in healthcare have tried to use that as motivation, take a difficult situation and see it as a privilege and even an honor to be a part of this in history and in people's lives. Everybody has been making sacrifices and working toward making people in the world around them better during this past year. Hillel specifically clearly exemplifies this, as they've made such a difference to students like me, even if students aren't going attending Hillel events or verbally saying how important that Hillel is to them at school. They are clearly still very important, just having their presence there. I think with organizations like Hillel and with us all realizing the sacrifices that we make and turning our difficult situations and trying to get strength from them, we will come out better on the other end. So thank you to the Hillel board, the entire Hillel team across the state of Georgia. This really means a lot to me.
The purpose of Hillel is to provide a social and spiritual structure for young people entering a new phase of their life. So let's break that down.
Hillel by the numbers.
Across all of our campuses, over 1,200 students were actively engaged with more than 4,000 instances of engagement. That is a huge number, folks. Hillels of Georgia served up 3,214 Shabbat meals. And despite the pandemic, Hillels of Georgia found ways to ensure Shabbat celebrations continued. This year marked the debut of Shabboxes, a kosher meal with a Shabbat kit containing candles, grape juice, and personal challahs distributed to students weekly. We held 380 community building programs, including brunches, movie watch parties, campfire and s'mores nights, game nights and trivia, baking classes, even hiking and running programs. Can you believe it? Way to keep students engaged during the pandemic. And now, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for our next installment of Weinstein's Wisdom.
Weinstein's Wisdom.
Students today are the smartest I've ever seen them. And I've been involved with college-age kids for a long, long time. These kids are not only smart, but they take ownership. They take ownership of what's going on campus. They take ownership of their lives. And I'm not surprised to see any of them excel in anything that they do, including what happened at the University of Georgia. They just really are so bright and so articulate, and they accomplish things that when we were in school we never even thought of.
Weinstein's Wisdom.
And now to present our Hillel Heroes Award to a very deserving group of students, please welcome the Consul General of Israel to the Southeast United States, the Honorable Anat Sultan Dadon.
Shalom. On behalf of the Consulate General of Israel to the Southeast U.S., I would like to congratulate and express my sincere appreciation to the wonderful group of students at the University of Georgia, Allison Fine, Sierra Thomas, Sarah Martinov, and Kara Litwin, for successfully passing a unanimous resolution by the University of Georgia Student Government Association urging the UGA administration to adopt the official IRA definition of anti-Semitism, recognizing the existence and threat of anti-Semitism and the importance of adopting the International Holocaust Remembrance Alliance definition sends a clear message to the entire student body, faculty, and beyond that at UGA there is no room for anti-Semitism. This past year, we have witnessed an alarming rise in anti-Semitism, including various incidents here in Georgia. The University of Georgia itself has unfortunately been the site for expressions of anti-Semitism as well. A strong stand condemning anti-Semitism and committing to combat it is of incredible importance, especially when anti-Semitism is on the rise and Jewish communities are threatened. On campus, Jewish students need to know that they are safe and that anti-Semitism will not be tolerated. The responsibility of ensuring that must not lie solely on Jewish students, but on all students, on all faculty, and on the administration. That is why it is so important that this initiative was promoted and supported by Jewish and non-Jewish students. In the face of anti-Semitism, as in the face of any form of hate, we are all stronger together. Thank you to all those who promoted this important initiative, including Hillels of Georgia, Students Supporting Israel, Dogs for Israel, and the Student Government Association. Thank you for leading the way on this important issue. I hope that we will see the UGA administration heed the call and adopt the definition, and I hope that many others will follow and do so as well. Thank you.
One of my friends, Allison, is involved in SGA, student government here at UGA. And so I reached out to her and she put me in touch with Sierra Thomas, who was so amazing and gave her time and her energy to help us format the resolution to fit the UGA legislation.
So I recommended that they instead direct it at the university at large, and specifically like through the Equal Opportunity Office. And I think as we kind of worked on this a little bit more, we came to be aware of the fact that it was more so like a Board of Regents policy. And so there was this whole process of kind of recentering the legislation, figuring out the best way to make it a meaningful and effective piece. I think it was something that definitely everybody recognized a need for.
It was really exciting to me as both a senator and a Jewish student to see other students feel so passionate about this. I think that Hillel as a whole is an organization that seeks to be very involved on campus with students, not just Jewish students. And I think that that really plays a part in working towards creating a better connection between why Jewish voices deserve to be heard, and why Jewish students deserve a definition that can adequately represent when something goes wrong that shouldn't have happened. Things are changing and people are starting to see that this is a real issue, and it's something that clearly everyone is starting to take more seriously. So as a Jewish student and just a general student of UGA, I was very excited to see that it seems like people are becoming more accepting and more willing to listen and try to become a part of the solution.
It's such an honor to be a part of this group and to be, among a list of names that I never thought my name would be on. So I think that, it's very humbling, and I feel very honored to have this opportunity and to receive this award. And I have to recognize that I would not be receiving this if it weren't for, all the supportive figures in my life, especially through Hillel here, with Rowie and Moore and Jeremy and Mara. They are such amazing people and mentors and life coaches.
I think it's been a really cool process because I don't think I fully understood what this meant to people until I think I started having conversations about it later.
We just were doing what we felt like was right. We were just doing our jobs as senators and representatives of the student body. But it's something that we're really passionate about. And I think that we're just really excited that other people support this and that we can help continue to be active fighters for the Jewish community and all religious minorities and minorities in general on campus, and that this is just more motivation to keep going and continue working towards that.
Hillels of Georgia is proud to partner with Naranana, Atlanta's newest Jewish cultural event series, providing some of the music you're hearing tonight, including up-and-coming singer-songwriters Mara Mershon and Haley Lieberman. Right now, let's hear from their executive director, Joe Alterman.
Thank you, Greg. It's a treat to be here. Yes, my name is Joe Alterman, and I'm a pianist and the executive director of Naranana. Naranana is the former Atlanta Jewish Music Festival, and the word in Hebrew means let's come together and sing. We're a nonprofit cultural arts institution that celebrates Jewish contributions to music and the arts, and we hope you'll stay tuned for the good stuff we've got coming up in store. But in the meantime, I wanted to congratulate Bruce Weinstein and all of the Hillel heroes this year, and I thought I'd play some music for you all. This is my take on a song that we're all familiar with. This is Oseh Shalom.
So bagel breaks give students a chance to catch up with peers and Hillel staff who have become their friends and mentors. Students who might not attend Hillel regularly will always eat a fresh, warm bagel.
Hillel by the numbers.
This year we held 129 bagel breaks across all of our campuses. Simultaneously, Hillel staff held COVID-safe outdoor office hours to mentor and bond with students. Israel Fest is one of the largest and most popular Hillel events on all of our campuses. It brings together hundreds of students, Jewish and non-Jewish, to learn about and celebrate Israel. This year, we were thrilled to be able to host a COVID-safe Israel Fest with outdoor activities and social distancing. In total, Israel Fest this year hosted 563 students across Georgia.
Weinstein's Wisdom.
I really admire all the professional staff because they do a great job, and no organization would be able to thrive without the support of the professional staff. And if you don't support them, then your organization is just not going to be as good. And you know, if you believe in the mission, then you have to believe in the staff, and you have to support everything that they do.
Weinstein's Wisdom.
So when I was at UGA, the Hillel leader, Skippy, he invited me to a Shabbat dinner. I didn't think anything of it. 3 weeks later, he saw me on the quad and asked me again. I said, sure, I'll be there. Then 2 days after that, I saw him in the Tate Center, and he hands me a bagel and a cardboard box with schmear. See you Friday night. So I went. I was blown away. So many kids like me just hanging out, enjoying Shabbat dinner. I was hooked. Next time I saw Skippy while getting my triple shot red eye at Jittery Joe's, I was the one who stopped him. I said, see you Friday. Our next honoree built a Hillel from nothing that now serves more than 200 students. Ladies and gentlemen, to present our next Hillel hero, please welcome the president of Georgia College, Dr. Steve M. Dorman.
On behalf of the Hillels of Georgia, it is my privilege to present this Hillel Heroes Award to someone who is a true hero to me, Dr. Karen Berman. Having a Hillel organization on any campus is vital to the entire community, especially for Jewish students. Dr. Berman recognized this more than a decade ago and organized a Hillel student group on our campus. Her passion, dedication, and commitment has always been to support students on campus, especially Jewish students at Georgia College, and to ensure vibrant Jewish life on campus. Dr. Berman also recognized that a strong Hillel not only meant that Jewish students would have a home away from home, but that a vibrant Hillel on campus would build bridges of understanding and respect to other faith, ethnic, and cultural communities on campus. Karen's commitment led to the GCSU Hillel becoming a formal member of Hillels of Georgia, and she was instrumental in the recent establishment of the Hillel House at Georgia College. In addition to her leadership in Hillel, Dr. Berman has demonstrated great leadership on campus and in the community, having served as department chair of our theater and dance department. And in 2017, she was awarded the Governor's Award for Arts and Humanities for her outstanding contribution to the arts in Georgia. Many, including faculty, administration, community members, and scores of Hillel student leaders have contributed to the development and success of the GCSU Hillel. None, however, can come close to the measure of commitment that Dr. Karen Berman has demonstrated over 12 years to Hillel. Dr. Karen Berman, my friend and colleague, the fruits of your labor speak loudly, and you are a true Hillel hero. It is my pleasure to honor Dr. Karen Berman and to introduce her to you. I know you will enjoy hearing from her.
Thank you so much, Dr. Dorman, our wonderful Georgia College president, who has supported my dreams for a Hillel house all of these years. I'm so humbled by this honor. I never considered myself Jewish enough, though Judaism has supplied my ethics, morals, and values. I want to thank the CEO of Hillels of Georgia, Elliot Karp, who is my hero, and for his support in acquiring the new Hillel house. Thank you so much from the bottom of my heart to the selection committee for this award. I'd like to thank my dear husband, Paul Asatura, who ran thousands of errands, getting honey and Hanukkah candles. I want to thank my sisters, Ellen and Sally Berman. And of course, I'm indebted to my dear parents, may they rest in peace, Dr. Jerry Berman and Mrs. Betty Green Berman, and my grandparents. And I'd like to thank Natalie Goodrich, who co-founded Georgia College Hillel with me, and all of the other great community members for their support, and as well, our faculty and staff over the years at Georgia College. The student leaders have been wonderful, especially our beginning leaders, Presidents Dina Overby and Zach Dubin, and of course our current president, Abby Frankel. When I arrived at Georgia College in 2008, I wanted to produce a play, an opera of the Anne Frank story, and I was told by a colleague that people might not believe in the Holocaust and cautioned me against doing anything Jewish. I produced the play, of course, anyway, and knew that I needed to educate Middle Georgia. There was no Hillel here, and we needed to provide a home for Jewish students. And in 2012, there was an incident on campus, anti-Semitic, racist Easter eggs. And from that, we were inspired to make an interfaith event every single fall and spring, using and incorporating all of the religious groups on campus to provide unity and diversity. And these events continue today. And over the years, we held numerous Holocaust remembrance events to educate Middle Georgia, including hosting Holocaust survivors and photo exhibits and planting hundreds of daffodils in remembrance of children lost in the Holocaust, all which has inspired me to encourage the next generation of Jewish students. Thank you so much for this honor, which means the world to me. Not bad for a girl who thought she wasn't Jewish enough.
And now let's hear from emerging artist and future Hillel member, Mara Mershon.
Sometimes our favorite moments in this world go by too fast. The best thing that we can do is make these moments last. The best thing one can do in this place is be who you want to become, 'cause you are enough. So keep the world in your hands. Be that light one can face. Greet all the people in your life. Warmest warm embrace. Take a look around and continue to fall in love. 'Cause I know you and I know you're enough.
Hillels of Georgia has excelled at building a community in a virtual setting. We launched the Hillel Hive, which is an online student engagement platform designed for students, inspired by students, that creates easier access to Hillel's various events. We also launched our virtual Distinguished Speaker series covering everything from Jewish studies to corporate teachings, and a whole lot in between. There were 180 attendees to Hillels of Georgia's Distinguished Speaker series. They learned from the likes of Steve Koonin, the CEO of the Atlanta Hawks, Adam Hirsch, co-founder and creative director at Goza Tequila, Charlotte Korchak, director of international student programs at Stand With Us Israel, and Eileen Snow Price, the director of In the City camps. And now, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for our last installment of
Weinstein's Wisdom.
The faculty are the closest people to the students. You know, their finger is on the pulse of what's going on their particular campus. Most faculty serve as advisors in some form or another, whether it be academic advisors, whether it be club advisors, Hillel advisors, and the students trust them. So their role is really important because they're the people that have the closest contact with the students, and I think they're the ones that really have the greatest influence.
Weinstein's Wisdom.
And now let's hear from emerging artist and future Hillel member, Haley Lieberman.
Call it dumb luck, but baby, you and I can't even mess it up. Although we both try, know it don't always go the way we planned it, but the wolves came and went, and we're still standing when the bones are good. The rest don't matter, yeah, the pain could heal, glass could shatter, let it
And now, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Emory University President, Dr. Greg Finvez.
It seems like I've been aware of Deborah Lipstadt as long as I can remember. Her name has always been part of my personal library, and so I've just known her as somebody who's a deep thinker about Judaism and about anti-Semitism and about what it means in today's society. And so if you think about the role of Emory in preparing the next generation, it is so important that they learn from experts like Deborah about history and what it has meant in the past, what it means today, and how to prepare them to understand the future. Well, she really is a Hillel hero, not only to our community and the broader world, but to me and my family. When I told my parents that I was thinking about coming to Emory University, the first thing they thought about was, well, that's where Deborah Lipstadt is. And so that's just one example of how she is a hero to so many people.
Thank you, President Finvez. And now to introduce our next hero, please welcome the President and CEO of Hillel International, Adam Lehman.
As President and CEO of Hillel International, it is a privilege to be able to present the Hillel Hero Award to Dr. Deborah Lipstadt on behalf of Hillels of Georgia. For this audience, Dr. Lipstadt's illustrious background is likely well known. As a pioneering and beloved professor at Emory University, serving with distinction as the DeRote Professor of Modern Jewish History and Holocaust Studies since 1993, where she founded Emory's Institute for Jewish Studies and received its Outstanding Teacher Award, among many other accolades. As a prolific author, awarded the National Jewish Book Award for her book Denying the Holocaust, and wide acclaim for her outstanding recent book, Anti-Semitism Here and Now. As a presidential appointee to the United States Holocaust Museum's governing board, and as one of the leading intellectual voices and advocates for the entire Jewish community. Even with her global stature and influence, Dr. Lipstadt has continued to be a generous mentor to generations of Emory students and has been a true friend to Hillel, participating in a wide range of programs both locally and across the Hillel movement. On behalf of Hillels of Georgia, it is my great honor to recognize Dr. Lipstadt as one of the inaugural Hillel Heroes for her scholarly academic work, her commitment to education and teaching, her deep care for her students, her strong, clear, and fierce advocacy for Holocaust education and against anti-Semitism, and her steadfast support for both the Jewish people and the State of Israel. Mazel tov, Dr. Lipstadt.
Hillel engages in informal education, where you can sit around a table and debate an idea and learn a text, study a portion of Jewish history, Jewish culture, whatever it might be, and you're learning informally. And one of the reasons for liberal arts education is both the formal education and the informal education. That's why administrations invest so much time and effort and money in all these student activities, not because it's just to keep the students happy, but because that's part of education, the informal education, what they're going to learn by just sitting around a table drinking coffee and talking about, I'm hosting a Shabbat dinner, and the student there who is Jewish but has never participated in anything says, well, can I come? Can I be part of it? That's all part of the picture. It's very humbling to be one of the inaugural recipients of this award. It's humbling because there's so many others who have done so much on this campus. Some of them retired, some of them still here. So in a way, I'm profoundly grateful on a personal and individual level that I've been selected. But I also see myself as we say in Hebrew, bimkom, in the place of many, many other faculty. who worked with students over the years in big ways and small, in ways that were known and ways that were unknown. Jewish Studies has been on this campus since the mid-'70s, long before I arrived. I wasn't here, I wasn't present at the creation. When I came, there was a foundation. I've been privileged over my close to 30 years here at Emory to build on the foundation of those who planted before me. You know, there's a Talmudic story about Choni HaMa'agel, Choni the circle drawer. And someone came upon him, he was an old man, and he was planting a fig tree, which wouldn't give fruit for years, for 70 years or whatever it was. And I said, Choni, why are you doing that? He said, because I'm planting for the next generation. I was lucky to come and find a foundation stone here. I hope I've added to it in my years here and will continue to add in my years to come. And then there'll be other generations, each one having to build.
Okay, folks, it's that time. You've heard Weinstein's wisdom all night long. Now it's time for the deep dive. Ladies and gentlemen, the 2021 Billy and Bernie Marcus Visionary Award presentation.
Hey Dad, just want to say congratulations on this incredible recognition and achievement. Your hard work has never gone unnoticed by our family. You've been working tirelessly and relentless for the Jewish community here in Atlanta for years. And congratulations, I love you.
Hi Dad, I just want to say how proud I am for you receiving this Hillel Heroes Award. If anyone deserves this award, it's you. You have been a hero to Harris, Michael, and I our entire lives, and you're a hero to your grandkids as well. You've shown a commitment to the Jewish community through not only your monetary donations, but to donating your time and your sage advice. We love you and we're proud of you.
Hey Dad, me and Blake are on Arabia Mountain right now, and we're so proud of you. We love you. We know you deserve this award. You work so hard, and to give yourself up, your time up, to help other people and for organizations. And we really, really love you. And we're on the mountain. Say, I love you.
Love you.
Love you, Dad.
Love you, Bob.
Now to present the 2021 Billy and Bernie Marcus Visionary Award, please welcome the co-chair of the Jewish Federation of Greater Atlanta Board of Trustees, Lisa Galante.
So, when you think of Hillels of Georgia, and you think of Billy and Bernie Marcus, and you think of a visionary, certain words come quickly to mind. Optimistic, passionate, inspired, energized, and ready to go. In fact, this concept of ready, set, go is Bruce Weinstein in a nutshell. Bruce is forever at the starting line of meaningful and visionary enterprises. He leads current and future generations to spirited, educated, and enlightened places. Just 30 quick years ago, I met Bruce on third base, in the baseball fields across the parking lot from where I stand now at the Marcus JCC. I wondered, who is this grown man spreading laughter and magic among all of the little T-ball boys and girls on the field? Little did I know that this was the beginning of a magical and not so mysterious Bruce Weinstein Ready, Set, Go tour. Soon after meeting Bruce, Atlanta and I watched as Bruce took off to expand his embrace of Jewish life beyond those little boys and girls to include Atlanta's teens, most notably when Bruce led the transformation of Jewish Atlanta by bringing us the Maccabi Games for the first time ever and connecting 550 Jewish Atlanta teams with their peers from cities throughout North America and Israel. Wasting no time, the magical Ready, Set, Go Bruce Weinstein Tour continued to barrel down the path of next generation Jewish life, soon arriving at Hillels of Georgia to invest his renowned passion and effervescent talents into college students served so energetically by Hillel's extraordinary professional team and inspired lay leadership. While we can certainly talk about Bruce's 5+ decades of community and visionary leadership, and especially his 10 dynamic years of Hillel board involvement, philanthropy, and inspiration, the proof positive is our 24 Hillels across the state of Georgia dedicated to strengthening our students' Jewish leadership, knowledge, and service. May we stand inspired by Bruce in his inimitable ready, set, go state, and always envision the win to enhance our Jewish future. It is the person who brings the worth to any award received. Bruce Weinstein is certainly that person. Please join me in celebrating Bruce Weinstein as the 2021 Billy and Bernie Marcus Visionary Award winner.
First of all, I want to say thank you to Hillel, the Hillel board, and the Hillel selection committee for this great honor. I am just so humbled by receiving it. You know, I look at the people that got this award in the past, and these people are my role models. I mean, these are the people I look up to in the community. They're my mentors, and the fact that I'm receiving the same award they received humbles me to no end. I hope I can live up to their expectations of what somebody that receives this award should be. My biggest satisfaction is seeing things that I've taken on as a responsibility become reality. I don't think I'm any different than the other people that receive awards anywhere. The award is humbling, but it's not as meaningful to me as the reward of seeing accomplishments done for the organization and the organization thriving and doing better because of me. And I have to credit my parents. You know, growing up in a small city, my mother and father used to always say, one person can make a difference. And, you know, don't sit around and complain. If you see something you want to change it. If you see something you want to do it. Don't rely on other people. So all my life I've always felt, you know, if I see something that needs changing, I can be that one person that makes a difference.
Hillel is a perfect example of this. I've been on the board for about 10 years because it's important to me that Jewish students have a safe place on campus that they can call home. It's a place to meet other students and really just hang out. Besides that, they learn leadership skills, they're able to observe Shabbat, and even get a good meal. We've seen tremendous growth during my time on the board, and it's really meaningful to me to know that I've been a part of that. I think what I'm proudest of the most is knowing the impact that Hillel will have on all these students, not only while they're in school, but also after they graduate.
Hillel is a phenomenal place, a phenomenal influence on anybody that comes away from home because we're their home away from home. It's a place where they can meet other Jewish kids, which is really hard to do in some university environments. Actually, what's really sad today is that on so many major campuses, the BDS movement has become more prominent. And there's out and out anti-Semitism in the classroom. That's why we're there. We're there to help our students. We're here to help them cope. We give them a safety net to make sure that they're not uncomfortable with their Jewishness, that they're not uncomfortable in speaking up. That type of environment is where Hillel on campuses serves such a great purpose. Where I grew up in a really small southern town, there were only 2 Jewish kids in my entire high school. And it could have gone either way, but what we found was that sports is a great equalizer. And if you're good in sports, you're accepted. You know, I think I was pretty good, and when I wasn't good, I was dirty and nasty, so people accepted me anyway. Team sports to me is like the best way of people learning how to get along with other people. You know, not only did I play, but when I came to Atlanta, I also coached the different various sports. I've actually coached youth sports for over 32 years. That's 600 people that I think I've had a direct influence on, hopefully a good one. It's had a big effect, not only on the kids, but on the parents, on the city of Atlanta, and on the entire Jewish community. So I'm very proud of that. I want to talk about volunteerism for a second, because basically my attitude is that If you're not going to be the person that does it, then don't sit around and complain. Take a stance. Go out there and work and pick an organization or two organizations that you think you can have an influence on. And that's what I've tried to do my entire life. I think that's where we're so valuable. I think that if we can get the very, very bright leaders and kids that are in college to come out and want to step forward and want to get active right away, we're picking up such a great group of people that are going to move our communities forward that we don't have right now. And if we teach them good enough, well enough, and it's my Alabama part. You know, if we teach them well enough, and they really believe that they can make a difference, and that goes back to why I became active, that one person can make a difference, then I think we're going to see our communities thrive. Hillel is, to me, is one of the most important places that can be, and that's why I think I support it. That's why I encourage other people to support it, because these kids that come out, they're our future. They're the ones that we want taking over the communities when we're not here anymore. And if they're embarrassed by their Jewishness or if they feel intimidated, they won't step forward. So we have to make sure that doesn't happen.
Shema Israel Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad Shema Israel Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad Shema Israel Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad Shema Israel Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Heaven and earth will shake at the sounds of your name. The Lord our God, oh, the Lord is one. Heaven and earth will shake at the sounds of your name. The Lord our God, oh, the Lord is one. Heaven and earth will shake at the sounds of your name. Adonai Eloheinu Adonai is one. Heaven and earth will shake at the sounds of your name. The Lord our God, oh, the Lord is one. Heaven and earth at the sounds of your name. Shema Israel Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Oh, the Lord is one. Adonai Echad. Oh, the Lord is one. Adonai Echad.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is our show. Thank you for joining me in celebration of our incredible honoree, Bruce Weinstein, and each of our Hillel heroes. And thank you to our donors and friends of Hillel for your continued support. We'd especially like to thank our Chazan Visionary and Shomrim Guardian donors. Equitable Financial Services, Stephen and Susan Collar, Michael and Donna Coles, Garrett Vandegrift and Rachel Dinnerman, Jack and Lynn Halpern, Norman and Lindy Radow, Stephen and Linda Seelig, the Schoenbaum Family Foundation, Kathy Seelig, Carolyn Oppenheimer, David and Helen Zalik and the Zalik Foundation, the Jewish Agency for Israel, the Maccabee Task Force, the Etta Ray Hirsch Foundation, Hillel International, and a special thank you to the Marcus Foundation and the Jewish Federation of Greater Atlanta. Your generous support is what enables Hillels of Georgia to create and sustain vibrant Jewish life for our students on campuses across the state. If you've already made a generous donation to the 2021 Annual Fund, thank you. If you have not made a gift, we welcome your generosity now and encourage you to go to Hillels of Georgia's website at www.hillelsofgeorgia.org to make your contribution. Thank you for joining us tonight, and thank you for your support of Hillel. Good night.